Kicks of Creativity, it's T here, and today I am doing a little ramble with my speed paint, or speed draw, or whatever I call them. This is an unscripted video because I have a lot of things floating about in my head, and I was like, well, I can't write these all down, I can't script it, so I'm sorry, it's going to be rambly. So if you want to mute the video, then feel free to and just watch the speed paint. The things I'm going to talk about is probably just general artist stuff and commissions and all that jazz. So I'm taking it from a point of view from a non-popular artist, from kind of like the bottom of the barrel artists, I guess. I'm the bottom of the barrel. I'm the very bottom. No, stop. No. Okay, but yeah. But you know, it's just somebody who isn't famous, who doesn't have their name very much out there and has been kind of roaming around for quite a while in the art community. So I thought I'd give my points on the ye old topic of commissions and jazz. I'm starting to repeat myself, so I'm going to move on to the next point. So the first thing I'm probably going to talk about is commissions. I am going to talk about, not probably, I am. See this rambling, right? So the thing I'm going to talk about is commissions. Commissions are a wonderful thing. They have potential to make way for business opportunities at some times and other stuff, and you can get more clients in when people show it off and all that jazz. But with all your good, you got all your bad. Simple as yin and yang for everything in life. Doesn't matter what you do in baking, childcare, you know, office work or whatever. It always happens. So the thing I've kind of noticed, I've never really had many people do this to me. I've had maybe one or two or three, but people go to artists and they're like, whoa, like, draw my character, do this, do that, and it's like, okay, that's cool, that's great, you're commissioning, so it's fine, but like, some people are very, very rude about it, and they don't exactly structure it in a nice way, or you know, they don't treat the artist with respect. You are facing a screen when you're talking to artists, it's understandable, but it's still another person on the other side, so I would say, like, just be nicer to artists. You know, it gets you pretty far in life being nice. Sure, some artists are jerks, you know, some commissioners are jerks, that's just how it works sometimes, which is unfortunate, but hey. But yeah, like, I've noticed that people just do that constantly, and I've also noticed it a lot more with requests as well, but I'll skip onto that topic later. But it's just, it bugs me a lot because, as I said before, it's another person on the other side of the screen, so, you know, you should respect them. It's like, would you go to your mother or your father or somebody in your family or a friend or someone and just do that? Well, scratch the friend part maybe because you might be joking, but like, would you purposely go and do that to someone that you really care about and, you know, constantly do it? No, of course you wouldn't. So why would you do it to an artist? See? You know, and it's also a surefire way to make sure that they don't do your commission and they reject you. So, you know, be nice to artists, help. And it's also vice versa as well, because I have noticed artists be really nasty to clients, and I'm like, whoa, hang fire. Were you just nasty to your client? Because that's your income there, that's your money. And if you're being nasty to your income and your client, then they're never going to come back, they're never going to promote you, and, you know, you might have set up a bad name for yourself. So this thing works vice versa. Artists should be nice to their clients, and the clients should be nice to the artists. See, it works, you know, but you will get your jerks and stuff, unfortunately. But that's really the main point I just kind of want to touch up on for the commission thing. Just people on both sides be nasty to each other. Just kind of like, whoa, you're doing a business kind of thing here, so treat it like a business thing, shall we? Keep it civil. Another thing I wanted to touch up on actually is requests. I love doing requests myself personally. I find it really fun. It's a great way to just kind of draw a different character, relax, and kind of do it your own way, really. Because usually when I get requests, people are just like, well, get creative with it. And I'm like, I shall. Don't you worry. Of course, I limit what I do for my requests. So I only do sketches and not full pieces because, that would take a very long time for me most of the time. Sometimes I do it, but sometimes I don't. But the thing with requests is I've noticed that a lot of people don't respect the rules that are laid down for most requests, because I've seen quite a few artists lay rules down for requests. One artist in particular, I'm not going to name them, but they were like, don't put this type of stuff in, and it was like, things related to alcohol and drugs and sexual things, like, and incest and younger and older pairings together when they shouldn't be, and all that stuff, right? But they had people that linked them to all this stuff with their characters, and the artist was like, dude, I have it in my rules pretty much in bold writing that you shouldn't do this, and people still kept doing it, and she kept being like, guys, stop, okay? I want to do requests, but I don't want these things to come to me because quite personally I don't like them, and I don't really want them to be in my art, and they have really cute art, and I can understand why. And personally, some of the things that they were like, don't do this, I'm like, well, I can see why why you would want that. But it's like, I'm starting to notice a lot more that people are just really rude and nasty with requests. Like, I've had a few experiences like that myself, really, and it's just awful when people do that, especially when you do the request, right? And then the person comes back to you with this, and they're like, that's shit, that's rubbish, I don't like it, do it again. And you're like, I just wasted my time to do this for you for free, and you're saying it's shit. Like, I had one guy come to me once, and he had really strange characters, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna draw them, and he requested all 3 of them, and I was like, okay, and I did them on paper because at the time I wasn't too really good with digital art and stuff, and I drew them all on paper because I thought it would be easier to do it on paper than do it digitally, and so I did that, and then I put the paper up, and oh, I have the cat meowing at me. I did the paper version, and so I put that up, and I was like, here you go. And then I forgot to offer the I've got the cat meowing at me. Sorry. I forgot to put, I'll do it digitally for you later, and they came back and they're like, what is this crap? And I was like, excuse me? And they're like, this is shit, it's so sketchy, and it's not even properly done well. And this is coming from a guy who had a very strange style, which I thought was creepy and disturbing. And I was like, oh, okay, so you're allowed to do the sketchy style, but I can't sketch something up. And I was just about to offer him to do it digitally, and it really got me down, and I was like, whoa, well then, I'll just delete it. And everything's like, yeah, you do that, and I was like, are you kidding me? So I deleted it off my DeviantArt, and I was like, really kind of like, wow, upset. And my boyfriend went and kind of harassed him, but that's a different story for another time. Yeah, and then they had a harassment thing back and forth, and the guy was an absolute jerk. Like, seriously, I've had some weird ones in my time, but he was just a straight up jerk, and I was like, well, okay then. So the moral of this is, there are jerks everywhere, doesn't matter what side it's on, it happens, it goes with it, what can you do? Oh wow. But things that I've actually found helpful for the few problems I've dealt with is keeping it professional, trying not to let your emotions go away with it, despite the fact that the story before I was like, well, I was very upset, but at the time when that actually happened, I was a lot younger and my art style wasn't fantastic at the time, so but yeah, I've learned to keep it somewhat professional, keep it nice as well. That always helps when you're doing commissions, when you're commissioning or requesting. It's nice to keep it nice because, well, you like being treated nice, right? So Why not treat everyone else nice? And if you get a commissioner that comes to you and or a requester and they do those types of things, try and keep it professional, keep it nice. But also another way I've actually dealt with someone like that was actually just probably last year this actually happened, and it's another story time. Hang to your horses, hang on to your seats, I meant to say, not your horses, but you can hang on to those too. And I had a guy come to me, and I'm pretty sure his name was Crimson Colt or something like that, a My Little Pony guy. He came to me and he's like, hey, can you do request commissions, Kurbans, I think they're called, and something else was listed, but then he stated that he couldn't pay me with PayPal because PayPal does not work in his country. And I was like, at the time I was in college, and I was like, okay, oh right, sure. And the funny thing was, I had actually read up on this guy the day before. He actually commented on my Tumblr, and the strange thing was, he didn't comment on my art Tumblr, he actually commented on just my casual blog, which I was like, oh, okay, that's odd. And originally the guy started out on DeviantArt, and he went around to different artists saying he would commission them and all this junk, and then when it came to them getting their payment, he would be like, oh, PayPal doesn't work for me, but thanks for the art, I'll promote you, bye, and just disappeared. And he scammed quite a few artists from what I read, and it was pretty awful. And he actually stopped by one of my art friends, and she was like, dude, just leave me alone, I don't want to do it. And he was the type of person that was constantly persistent, and he wouldn't leave you alone, and he would keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And there were so many screenshots and all these journals that was listed that I was reading about him, how nasty he quite nasty he got. And I was like, oh gosh. So when he came to me, I was like, oh no, not you. But how I dealt with it was, I was like, hey, sorry, I'm not doing anything like that right now, I'm in college, I'm busy, and I can't do anything like that. And then he came back and said almost the exact same thing, and saying, oh come on, please just do it, but I can't pay you. And I was like, no. That was literally it. I was just like, no, I can't. And I kept it quite civil when I was saying it. I was like, I can't. He's like, oh, and they started trying to pull the soppy stories on me, and I was like, wow, it really sucks to be you, man. And I knew he was just trying to squeeze art out of me. You could just tell, really. And I was like, clearly, if English isn't your first language, just because of the grammar that is stated, and, you know, if you wanted to do, if you list all these things, then you're not actually commissioning. You're just listing all of these different things that artists do. He also lists art trades, right? Which is quite funny because he didn't have any art anywhere. Because I tried finding it, I couldn't find it. And I was like, well, I can't do anything like this. And then he kept going on and on, and this went for about 3 days. And I was like, oh my gosh, just go away. Obviously I didn't say it to him because then it would rile things up. And then it finally got through to him that I was not going to be giving him art because I was busy with my own life. So I kept it civil, and I kept going with the, oh wow, man, that sucks to be you type story. And I think it finally got through to him that I was like, no, you're not getting art from me, so please just go away. So yeah, but the moral of that story was, you know, keep it civil, keep it decent, don't be a massive jerk to someone, despite the fact that they might be a massive jerk to you. I have found that if you stay nice with people and, you know, point out and keep it point blank, then you can really get through it. Like, you know, you can finally get them off your back. That was like the longest way to go about that point. I'm really sorry, but hey, at least I felt some of my video. This is like the worst video ever. But yeah, but man, that was a crazy one, because I never expected him to pop up on me like that on Tumblr of all places, despite the fact that he was always on DeviantArt. But I think he had multiple accounts that got banned on DeviantArt and that happened, so Yeah, but that was old news. I don't know if he's still kicking, but if you ever see somebody called Crimson Colt, whatever, then just be wary, I guess. Well, I think I can wrap my video up here now. Woohoo! That's just me rambling on, really. Good for you for listening through all of this. Well, top hats off to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next tea time. Goodbye. Oh.